Okay, so let's talk about The Black Phone, which is Scott Derrickson's latest film. And this is the film that Scott Derrickson went on to make after leaving Doctor Strange 2 due to creative differences. And I'm excited for that because, like, what am I talking about? Like, I'm excited like it's about to happen, right? It already happened. I meant to say that I'm happy that did happen because we got a Sam Raimi Doctor Strange and then we got a Scott Derrickson horror film that is just beautiful. So before we get into it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. On the road to 25,000 subscribers, we talk horror, we talk movies, we talk TV shows, all the stuff you love. So make sure you're here and make sure that you are notified with that notification bell because YouTube likes to be funny. And that's the reason that this is called an ending explained. Even though I don't think the ending needs an explanation, I want to talk about the movie, give some spoilers, and talk about the ending. So I guess it makes sense. But YouTube, if I named it anything else, probably wouldn't push it. So, in Denver in the late 70s, a serial killer is on the loose named the Grabber. And actually, if you want to know something, Scott Derrickson talked about this being based around his childhood, like the whole setting of Denver and the 70s and all of that. So, interesting fact right there to note. So, the Grabber is basically out here taking little boys, and we know that he's killing them because they're never found again. And so one day, Finney Blake is just out and about before he gets grabbed by the Grabber. And prior to that, his best friend got grabbed as well. So this is a very interesting setup for a movie, I think, because a lot of times I think that when you have a movie that is solely around a couple of characters, you can sort of have this thing where the movie doesn't really go anywhere. It feels like these characters are the same characters they are at the beginning to the end. And in this movie, I think that what happens is we see these characters really grow, and that's including Finney, his father, and his sister Gwen, who are our main characters we're following here. And their father is an alcoholic who has become like this after their mother's death. And we have Gwen, who is trying to keep sort of things afloat, and she's also dealing with having these visions and dreams that she doesn't understand, and her father gets really angry about it. And so we have all of these situations going on with Finney and Gwen sort of caring for one another due to, of course, parents not really being there. And I just love that whole dynamic brother and sister that we have here because you don't really see that a lot. So it's all interrupted, though, however, when the Grabber comes into the picture, as I said, and kidnaps Finney. Now, the Grabber keeps his victims in a basement that is soundproof, and he pretty much plays a game with them called Naughty Boy, he says. Now, Naughty Boy is basically the Grabber's way of killing you. The Grabber is going to one day leave the door open, accidentally, of course, as he would think you would want him to think, right? In that time, most of the kids that were down here actually try to escape, but he's waiting for you up there with a belt and he will beat you to death. That's basically how he kills his victims. Finney closely almost falls for this, but the phone rings, the black phone, and it basically is the kids from beyond telling him, be careful. Sort of become spirit guides for Finney in a way because they're sort of guiding him on the certain things they did, the ways they tried to escape, certain objects that may be in the room and stuff, and just filling him in to sort of have him be the one to survive. And while all of this is happening, Finney's sister Gwen is having visions of the Grabber, of his home, and all of this, giving it to detectives and trying to help in the aid of Finney's rescue. And it is just such an amazing movie watching these things go back and forth. Ultimately, Finney tries to escape one night, but the Grabber grabs him but cannot kill him because that was not part of the Naughty Boy game. So one day, Finney is like, you know what, I'm just going to have to escape. I'm going to have to do it no matter what. And with the help of the boys from beyond, as well as his friend who is also dead now, he pretty much musters the courage, gets a plan going, and is going to go and kill the Grabber once he comes down. Now, one of the things to remember here is that the Grabber does have a brother as well who does not have a clue about what's going on, and he's living in the same home and all of that. I think it has a lot to do with the things on the table. We're not going to discuss them here because YouTube, like I said, likes to be funny. So one day, however, when the Grabber is apparently out at work, as the brother puts it, he stumbles upon the basement and sees Finney. He tries to help Finney, but the grabber makes it in and kills him right on the spot. Now the grabber's pissed and he's gonna kill Finney, and no, that's not gonna happen, right? Because Finney's already prepared and he has set up a plan, and he ultimately takes the grabber down. While all of this is happening, Gwen has taken the detectives to the house, but it's not the right house, as they see that there is actually a basement there as well. But that's where the grabber buries all of the bodies, and it seems now that the boys who have been killed by the grabber are able to rest in peace after their bodies have been found. As I said, Finney's plan goes according to plan, and he kills the grabber, makes it out, finds his sister because the other house was just across the street, and they embrace in a hug. And let me tell you, I cried. I cried at that scene so much. I think Finney was just such a likable character. You were always rooting for Finney. You wanted Finney to get out of this so bad. And once you saw him out of it, you saw his sister there as well. And everything she tried to do for Finney, I think the emotions just run high right there. So I very much so love this movie. And I am definitely waiting to see it again. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to see it again. And I'm excited about actually hearing that Halloween Horror Nights is doing a maze around this, because that is terrifying, and I have to go see that. So, Universal, if you're listening, I'm all there. I'm all there. But no, like I said, this movie was great. I think Scott Derrickson did a great job. This is based on a short story by Joe Hill, also written by longtime contributor to Scott Derrickson, Robert C. Cargill. So, like I said, I think that this was such a great movie. Very well contained, very small, but still a strong message as well. Like, there isn't a lot of set pieces, locations, and characters, like I said, but I think everybody does such a great job. Ethan Hawke as the grabber, I think, was great. Some people are complaining that he wasn't in it as much. I think he was in it as much as he should be, and the moments he was in there were so impactful that it just felt beautiful. Like, the way he acted this character that was so crazy and deranged and just horrifying. Like, they did such a great job with it. So I love the film. I'm excited for it, and hopefully we get some more stuff from Scott Derrickson pretty soon. I think he's such a great person in horror. Sinister is still one of the best horror movies of the past 20 years. So I'm excited to see what else he does. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, your opinions on this movie. I just want to quickly talk about certain things here and there. I do have some more videos coming out for it, such as religion on this film and the grabber being a new horror icon, which is something I truly, truly believe and attest to. But anyways, as always, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you check out the videos on the left. Make sure you're subscribed. Comment, like, subscribe. I said that twice. Notification bell on is what I wanted to say. On the road to 25,000. Thanks for listening. As always, stay safe, stay positive.